Part 2 of Christopher Brodeur, Super CXB, goes to jail for wearing shorts. And 2 middle fingers and a German affirmative. By Nazi judge Judith Levitt, a Giuliani appointee who has since retired and is making tons of money on her pension that you're paying for, suckers. She's a super criminal. Convicted criminal even. That's even better. She's a convicted criminal and she can't be punished because the judges gave themselves immunity. Illegally. But what can you do? There's too many judges to shoot. So where we left off, the judge had just cuffed me in front of the big courtroom, people packed, after I had broken no law. But I had embarrassed her for not knowing anything about law. And she threw me in the back, and they threw out. They fuck with you so many different ways. So in the back, they go through my shoulder bag. Remember, I was only supposed to be in court for 5 minutes. Get a new court date, leave. But she started fucking with me and breaking all kinds of laws, and I stood up to her and proved her wrong on the law, and she got angry and cuffed me and took me away. They took me in the back into the cells, and then they go through your shoulder bag. You gotta make sure you got no weapons, no drugs. But they're throwing out shit like my bicycle patches and stuff. I don't have the money to buy all the stuff I already bought a second time just because you don't obey the law. These guys were dicks. But most of you already know the cops are dicks. Not all cops. There's a couple. There's 2. There's 3 good cops on planet Earth. I got some friends who are cops, and I love those guys. But power corrupts. I mean, this isn't exactly news flash. So she brings me back 3 hours later after the court was cleared, so I can't humiliate her anymore in front of her peers and her staff and other lawyers, etc., etc., etc. Now, that was a huge legal mistake, and you'll find out in a moment why. But so she brings me back out. It's just me and her. I don't even remember my piece of shit lawyer was there, Michelle Hauser. Michelle Hauser, 18B, Hauser. It was even like, you're guilty. You should have dressed up nicely. There's no dress code in court. Oh, wait, we'll get to that right now, though. So the judge brings me back. She says, Mr. Brodeur, your behavior today was outrageous. And I believe the best way to deal with you is to ignore you. And I said, you're right. I was like, you're the one who started on me. And she's like, but I'm sentencing you to 30 days in jail for contempt. And summary contempt. And I said, I don't remember how. I mean, our exchange was pretty fun, but I don't remember a lot of it. I'd have to go back and look at the diaries. Burp. Because I usually write essays after these things happen quickly. You got to do that. Always remember to take notes on everything so you don't forget anything and you don't make mistakes. That's one reason why I'm the most accurate person of all time. Thank you very much. I take a lot of notes, which is one reason why they always try to take away writing utensils from me and stuff like that, and recording devices. So, she says a whole bunch of stupid shit. I prove her wrong again and again and again. And, I think I even gave us a little speech where I pointed out to her, I said, the only thing more illegal than a dress code in court would be having a dress code and not posting the dress code. You see? And I even said to her that. I said, well, where's the line? She's like, your outfit's outrageous. I said, well, tell me where the line is so I don't make that mistake again. Are shorts 3/4 shorts okay? Are shorts to the halfway down my thigh okay? Where is the line? You say I crossed the line, so tell me where the line is so I never cross it again. She, of course, couldn't because she was just making shit up. But... and she didn't even try to answer the question. It's like, you tell me, I'm wearing a t-shirt. Okay, it's 93 degrees out. T-shirt's not allowed. Tell me where the line is. If it had long sleeves, would it be allowed? And that was the point. It's like, you can't have a dress code in court. It's totally illegal. Totally illegal. If I want to come to court in a diaper and a half shirt, they can try to fuck with me, but sorry, my genitals are covered up. Burp, you can't get me for obscenity, then tough luck. I know it hurts your feelings because you're a Nazi who has absolute power and you've gone mentally insane from the power. But get over it, look up the Constitution, some of the case law, you fucking assholes. But so I just smacked every stupid thing she said, I just disproved over and over again. And she never did try to even offer any excuse. And that was it, 30 days in jail. Now I'm talking to my lawyer and she's like, Tough luck. I'm like, you can get me out. You can get me out immediately. She's just violated federal law, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. My lawyer's like, I don't give a shit. Because remember, that's one way they game the system. Every time you hear of an innocent man cleared out of jail by DNA or whatever, it's not because the DA and the cops did a good job framing him. It's because he had nobody on his side. He had no defense because he's not allowed to speak in his own defense, and his lawyer is a scumbag who doesn't give a shit whether the guy fries or not. The entire system, there's nothing legitimate about our legal system. It's not remotely legal, but who's going to do anything about it? Most people don't fight back. And the lawyers don't want the system cleaned up either because it means more work for them, right? Even the ACLU. If they fix the legal system, that means either they're going to lose their jobs or it's going to mean more work for their friends who are now going to have to do something when they're defending the poor. My scumbag lawyer is like, I think you're guilty. Like, you don't know shit about law. I mean, most lawyers don't, let's be honest. She's not even going to help me. And this is pretty scary when you hear what she did. So that's it. I'm off to Rikers Island for 30 days. For wearing shorts in 93-degree weather. Using 2 middle fingers as a demonstration about why they put the First Amendment. Remember, free speech is the First Amendment. So that tells you it was kind of important. They could have made it 8th or 9th. They made it number 1. That's how important it was. And Nazis don't really like free speech. And my lawyer won't help me. And it's like, I can't do all the paperwork myself. It's just too much shit. And this was when I was still kind of new to the legal system. It's still like, I don't know how many different options I have. The next day, now this is an example of how dirty everything is. The next day in the daily newspapers, Laura Italiano and Barbara Ross, court reporters for New York Post and Daily News. They wrote some stuff in there, and it was mixed. They said, Giuliani gadfly goes to jail for... One report said, like, I was wearing a ripped T-shirt, and I gave the middle finger to the judge. Not correct, not correct. The other report said that I may have given the middle finger to the judge. It's not clear. And then I was wearing a soiled T-shirt. No, I was wearing a white T-shirt. It just had a very large V-neck. So the judge probably saw some of my hairy, manly chest and started getting a clit boner. She probably was secretly in love with me. That happens a lot. A lot of people who attack me are secretly in love with me. Humans, they just can't grow up, can they? And so both reports, though, had false information in them. And now they could have checked with me. They can't say, well, we couldn't reach you. Yeah, actually, I'm kind of captive. I'm a captive audience. You could have easily come and interviewed me in Rikers Island. But getting the facts is not the job of the press. They didn't even attempt to contact my lawyer. Not that my lawyer would have been much help. So that's it. I go to jail. Now I'm still talking to my lawyer from jail. I was like, what are you going to... He's like, no, maybe I'll file a habeas corpus. I could have been out in one day. Even with the judge's incorrect legal decision, I could have been out in 24 hours. So check this out. My lawyer doesn't listen to me, blah, 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 blah. Now, I filed paperwork in court myself. I mean, in jail from the law library. But you never know. The whole system is dirtier than you could ever possibly guess. And I never found out what happened to my thing. But 13 days in of a 30-day sentence, my lawyer, my scumbag lawyer, finally relents and files a habeas corpus. 13 days in, she waited 13 days to file the habeas corpus. The judge releases me 4 days later. Now, so I prove right again. I said, you can get me out. The judge clearly broke the law. But the judge who lets me out, he lets me out on time. It's another Giuliani appointed judge. He sees the habeas corpus, lets me out with $1 bail. And he sets, he gives me time served, though. Wait, so why was there $1 bail? I'm a little confused. Well, I hope I didn't scramble that with another thing. But regardless, he lets me out with time served, 13 days. I'm like, time served? No, I'm fucking innocent. I broke no law, and you can't even pretend I broke a law. It's really clear. And but he says I'm guilty. He says I'm clearly still guilty, but he lets me out of jail. Now, I say, all right, well, then we have 2 judges who don't know fucking shit about law. And my lawyer doesn't give a shit. I should have sued the fuck out of her, but suing people is not as easy as you think it is. So when you hear people say, oh, we live in a litigious society. People just love to sue. Suing people is not that easy. It is in small claims court, but most lawsuits aren't in small claims court. Don't believe the hype. It is the corporations and the right-wingers who want you to think that, oh, people just sue over nothing. No, most of the time they don't, because suing is a fucking pain in the ass. Kids say, oh, lawyers love to sue. No, filing the paperwork, they have to pay fees to file the paperwork. It's not, you make it sound like it's really easy to file a lawsuit. That's a lie. It's a myth by the corporations who want to smear people who sue corporations. It's a myth by the right-winger scumbags who don't want the little people to have a tool to fight back. Because that's the only way we can fight back, us little people sometimes, is with the power of the courts. Right? When Verizon fucks you over, your only possibility is to sue them, small claims court or whatever. So that's why they keep smearing tort and suing when the little people sue. I'm going to take a pause to save. Dear Diary, we're back. Part 2 of my miserable life. My miserable so-called life. Now, they let me out of jail. My lawyer, fucking scumbag. Because of her, I spent 17 days in Rikers Island. Now, even worse, when I get out, my civil lawyer, the one who's pretty good, and he helped me get to $35,000 in 2003, he said you can't sue because of sovereign immunity. Oh, wait. Now, this is, here I really lucked out. This is where my weird good luck comes in. This lawyer, his name was Michael O'Neill. He was a pretty good guy, maybe a little too hippie. And he agreed to, I was getting a lot of press, a lot of it favorable because nobody liked Giuliani. Under Bloomberg, you can't, all the press about me under Bloomberg has been filled with nothing but lies because they all want a job at Bloomberg News. It's the most fascistic situation in American history. It's really shocking. The breadth and depth and variety of his fascism. America's never seen anything remotely like Bloomberg. In fact, most of the world has never seen anything remotely like Bloomberg. He makes Caligula look like a fucking gentleman. A sane gentleman. So, now, my lawyer... Oh, at one point, I was in the courts, in the state Supreme Court with Michelle? And we were meeting for the appeal, the Attorney General's office represents the judge on the habeas corpus to say the judge didn't do anything wrong. Mr. Brodeur should have gone to jail. And the judge is, the lawyer is from Eliot Spitzer, who was then the Attorney General, his office. And the lawyer is saying to us in the hallway, she's saying, the judge clearly broke the law. This is the judge's own lawyer telling us in the hallway, the judge clearly broke the law of the summary contempt. Because remember, the judge was the victim, the jury, the judge, and the executioner. Now, that's a slight corruption, isn't it? You can't have the victim be the referee. Oops. The summary contempt is for emergencies. Now, there was no fucking emergency. She could have hit me with a summary contempt if I was screaming and they couldn't conduct court business. You're fucking out of order. This system blows. You're all fucking assholes. You're fucking jerk. You should be fucking thrown. And like, oh, shut up, Mr. Brodeur. No, you shut up. And they can't go on with the court business. Yes, I have no problem with that. Cuff me, take me out. Summary contempt. But that's not what happened in this situation. And especially because she put me in the cells for 3 hours and then brought me back and then sentenced me, was a clear and flagrant violation. She couldn't even argue that I had to maintain order. You did maintain order, you stupid liar. And then you brought me back into an empty courtroom. You had total control at all times, you stupid fucking liar. And I never at any point hindered the court's business. Total lies. And my stupid lawyer was wrong because she said I was guilty. And so then Michael O'Neill, my lawyer, didn't file the appeal that she should have. She got me out with a conviction, but it's like, no, I was innocent. I don't want to be let out of jail and they say time served. I want to be vindicated. I want it to be clear that this judge broke the fucking law. And my shitty lawyer wouldn't do her job that she has to by law and appeal. And so Michael O'Neill, as a favor, did it free of charge. And this is one of the more wonderful things anyone's ever done to me in the court of law. He filed the appeal, and it was instantly overturned. The judge was instantly convicted in appeals court by 5 unanimous judges. Now, you have to remember, these 5 judges are above City Hall. They're above Mayor Giuliani. They didn't have to be afraid and lie to protect their jobs. So 5 unanimous judges said Christopher Brodeur was smarter than his own lawyer, was smarter than the 2 Giuliani-appointed judges. Christopher Brodeur is really smart. Although that's not exactly what they said. I'm paraphrasing them. But they said the judge clearly broke the law. It's like, all right, we agree. We now have 5 judges who say this judge broke the law. There's another word for that. When 5 judges say somebody broke the law, the word you're looking for is conviction. 5 judges convicted Judge Judith Leavitt of violating the federal Constitution. It's a federal crime. And the state Constitution as well. They were state judges. But then Michael O'Neill said I couldn't sue for 17 days in jail falsely because of sovereign immunity. His argument was that the 5 judges who cleared me, they didn't say I was innocent of the underlying charges of middle fingers, German affirmative, outfit. They simply said Judge Judith Leavitt couldn't hit him with summary contempt. What she did to him and put him in jail was completely illegal. They, in fact, in their complaint, in their order, they make a whole bunch of mistakes based on idiotic errors. They say, it appears Mr. Brodeur did break the law when he did this and this. But the things they say I didn't do. I didn't give the middle finger to the judge, for example. So they made their decision even thinking, using incorrect facts against me. They still cleared me of summary contempt. And that conviction was thrown out forever. But the judge got away with it. All 17 days in jail, and I couldn't sue. I'm not sure my lawyer was correct, Michael O'Neill. I think I still could have sued a number of different ways for 17 days in jail falsely, but we'll never know. Because that's why the government arrests me so much. If they keep arresting me, it's hard. You can't. Am I going to file 150 lawsuits? I wouldn't be taken seriously. They'd throw me out of court. They'd be like, you must be insane. 150 lawsuits. So you're saying they can, if they're smart and they arrest me 150 times, then I definitely don't have any rights. Wow, it's that easy. And that's one of the reasons why the government arrests me so often. Because it negates everything, right? It's like if you have a flat tire on your car, you can fix it. If you have 4 flat tires on your car, you can fix it. It's a pain in the ass. But now what if you have 100 different problems with your car at the same time? That's a bitch to fix. You understand? It negates itself. You're fuck out of luck. So, what's the end of that story? Judge Judith Leavitt got away. I was cleared, but I wasn't as cleared as I would have liked to have been because those judges said in their order had some facts about me that were flagrantly wrong. And I never got a chance to speak in my own defense because there's no such thing as due process. I know you think there is. And that was it. I never sued. Fucking unbelievable. Needless to say, the underlying charges that I was going to Leavitt month after month after month, I completely won everything. I destroyed Giuliani. The jury were quoted calling me hero. One juror was quoted on video afterwards saying if there had been more people like Christopher in 1933, Hitler wouldn't have risen to power. Pretty bold words. Not only did the jury not convict me, they all called me wonderful. One juror gave me his address, and he said, please send me some of those Giuliani posters you did. Those are great. When was the last time that? Did any of the OJ jurors give their address? Jurors were quoted calling me very nice, very honest, very intelligent. That's why they make sure never to give me juries now. Like I have 5 criminal trials pending right now. 5 criminal trials, all for A misdemeanors. I have a right to a jury. What they will do is, weeks or the day before, sometimes even the day we're supposed to pick the jury, they reduce the charges to B misdemeanors. Oh, he no longer has the right to a jury, Your Honor. Convenient. Mr. Brodeur is now going to be tried at a bench trial by a judge appointed by the alleged victim, which is, of course, super federal crime. But remember, they can rape, the law is written as such in our society right now. They can rape you 1,000,000 times. You have the right to get raped and be raped over and over again. But then 10 years later, 20 years later, you may get a payment from the other people who were raped by the government. That's the justice we have right now. There's no other mechanism. That's the way it's designed. We have a right to rape you. You can't stop us from raping you. But if you can prove we raped you 10 years later, we will give you a cash sum which we stole from our other rape victims. Fair enough? Again, you think I'm kidding. The Nazis were 10 times more civilized, 10 times more law-abiding. Everyone agreed, even the Jews agreed. The Nazis were law-abiding. They didn't just round up the Jews, they changed the laws. Our government didn't change the laws. Our government just breaks all its own laws. Yikes. End of this diary entry. Every week of my life has been as fucking insane as this fucking story. Every week of my life has been fucking insane. It's amazing. No other human could probably deal with this shit without hanging themselves. But luckily my mother beat the fuck out of me so much and bloodied me so much as a kid that all I know is pain and suffering, and I'm fucking used to it. That's why I wish somebody would kill me. End of part 2 of 2.